What's such a boy for another reaction? In today's video, we have Real Madrid's players are fighting. Gang, I just was seeing this shit on Twitter, gang. They said this nigga, it was Tuchemani and Valverde. They said this nigga Valverde got knocked out and that the nigga got stitches. And they caught this nigga Mbappe laughing while driving out the damn stadium or the practice facility. And Tuchemani took a picture with a fan and that nigga just smiling. Like, what the fuck, gang?
I thought it'd be the last video for this season. Last time on Keeping Up with the Madridistas. After bringing in a former traffic cone as manager in Alvaro Arbeloa, Real Madrid proceeded to almost immediately.
Jose Mourinho, you need to come now. Like, you need to get these niggas right. Jose Mourinho gonna yell at them niggas and he gonna throw the fucking water bottles off the table. I ever seen that clip of Luis Enrique arguing, talking in the locker room to the PSG players, and that nigga threw the waters off the table? That's the shit Jose Mourinho gonna be on, like.
Immediately be eliminated in the Copa del Rey by a team in the second division. Oh, but Maxwell, Arsenal were also eliminated by a second division team. Ha ha ha, very funny. Would you still be laughing if you were turned into a vegetable though? From there, Real Madrid would experience multiple months of underwhelming performances, and as a result, their title hopes diminished earlier than it took Wolves to officially be relegated. And because this club continues to insist on the Mbappe-Vinny project like a baby formula scammer, so too went Real Madrid's hopes of discovering that so-called remontada. And with their second straight Champions League quarterfinal crash, Real Madrid will more than likely go trophyless for a second straight season. Oh yeah, you guys remember that alt account that I used when my initial account was suspended for this tweet? Well, after the Real Madrid video was posted, I decided to turn that alt account into a parody of one of those Real Madrid news accounts. I tweeted this banger, and then my account went kablooey. Oh, by the way, today is actually the 1-year anniversary of the infamous Lisa incident. Anyways, Los Blancos returned home to play Alaves in front of the Bernabeu's lowest attendance this season, albeit still 60,000 in the stadium. All game long, the team was being booed, but just like how they reacted when it happened after the Supercopa final, the players once again showed their supporters they really could not give less of a shit about the club. But on top of all this, to make things even worse, the club suffered even more injuries. Arda Güler's season was officially over due to a muscle injury, while Eder Militao, who had come back from consecutive ACL injuries in the previous 2 seasons, was now out for the rest of the season with a hamstring problem. Then against Real Betis about 3 days later, even though the title race wasn't mathematically over, the team continued to play like that was very much the case. They were horrifically underwhelming all game long, the keeper had to save them on multiple occasions, and just like in the previous game, Los Blancos switched off in the last minute and conceded an equalizer. With that result, Real Madrid have now won just 1 of their last 6 games, and for probably a 6th time this season, Mbappe goes down with an injury. But it just kept getting worse because in the very next match versus Espanyol, just 10 minutes into that game, Ferland Mendy went down with an injury. And his unfortunate setback marks the 120th injury for Real Madrid in the last 2 seasons. It's like this club's medical staff specifically listens to advice from Michael Jackson's doctor.
Well, La Liga is a very defensive league. It is a hard league, you know what I'm saying? It's a competitive league, you know what I'm saying?
And the free
version fucking League One, it is not League One.
Version of ChatGPT. Oh. But seriously, there seems to be so much malpractice when it comes to dealing with these injuries. There's been multiple instances this season of players being given the green light to play way too early into recovery, and then the injury gets so much worse because of it. I know we've talked about Madrid's issues with depth, and don't get me wrong, they still have a lot to improve there, but ain't nothing saving you if your team of doctors are motherfuckers from BetterHelp. Anyways, this isn't why I decided to make this video. As you've seen throughout this season, this club is filled with a bunch of petulant man-children who will throw a tantrum at their enabling father if they don't get their way.
Yeah.
It's either that, or they'll act like a victim. During the second leg versus Bayern, Eduardo Camavinga picked up a yellow after a tactical foul within the first 20 minutes of being subbed
Them niggas could have beat Bayern, that's the crazy thing.
on. 10 minutes later, he fouled someone else, but avoided the second yellow because it would have been too soft to send him off there. However, for some reason his brain hasn't worked this entire season, and he proceeded to time waste immediately after that foul, and received a really stupid yellow card that pretty much cost his team the game. And following that match, multiple Real Madrid players were recorded saying that the decision was a disgrace, even though he was initially let off the hook. But funnily enough, we had seen nothing yet. After the loss versus Bayern, the dressing room quickly descended into a full-blown clown show.
Keeping up with the Madristas.
During the game versus Espanyol, when Ferland Mendy was subbed on, Fran Garcia was chosen to replace him instead of Alvaro Carreras. Carreras was then caught on camera laughing to himself about the decision. Now, while I personally think this is kind of a nothing burger, there have been sources saying that some of Madrid's staff have been complaining about Carreras' attitude and lack of professionalism. However, sources close to Carreras have rejected these claims. We're just getting started though. Center back Antonio Rudiger got into a heated argument in the dressing room with a teammate who was rumored to be Alvaro Carreras. Some sources said that it got physical, with Rudiger even slapping Carreras, although I feel like most have actually denied this claim. These rumors started to boil over, so Alvaro decided to release a statement on his socials. And at the end of this very obvious PR move, he said, quote, "Regarding the incident with the teammates, it was an isolated matter without importance that has already been resolved. My relationship with the entire team is very good." So basically, it was him. Now, before you start going at Carreras about a lack of professionalism or anything, it was actually confirmed that Rudiger was the one to instigate this. Which, you know, I'd have my doubts about that claim if it wasn't for the fact that this guy is a genuine
the nigga is crazy,
psychopath on the pitch. Either way, the German defender later apologized for his behavior and treated his teammate and their family to some lunch. Then there's the issues surrounding the manager, Alvaro Arbeloa. Remember when I talked about Arbeloa playing some of the Youth Academy graduates? Pretty cool, right? I mean, this feels like a good first step in the right direction to getting Real Madrid where they want to be again. Don't forget the personalities we're dealing with here. Rumors have said that Arbeloa's inclusion of players like 18-year-old Thiago Pitart in the starting lineup have upsetted many in the squad. There's also been rumors that players like Dani Carvajal and Dani Ceballos have felt neglected by Arbeloa. In all fairness, starting an 18-year-old in a match versus Bayern Munich in the Champions League quarterfinals, yeah, I wouldn't personally recommend that. But seeing how the other senior players have performed all season, this once again feels like another example of the entitlement these players have as a result of being coddled in an echo chamber for the past 2 seasons. As I'm writing this up, by the way, and please take this news worth a grain of salt unless there's more development on it, there are currently rumors of another fight that just broke out between Federico Valverde and Aurelio Tchouameni. If this shit is true,
gang, is this a professional football? Is this Real Madrid or this is high school? This high school? Why is y'all fighting, gang? Like,
I swear to God, this whole team needs to be nuked off the face of the earth and built from scratch. Anyways, onto the elephant in the room. Kylian Mbappe. It was reported last month that the superstar got into an argument with one of the members of the coaching staff because when they were acting as an official, they called him offside. But that is very small compared to what I like to call Vacation Gate. As mentioned before, Mbappe went down with another injury against Real Betis last month, and a few days later, he was spotted on a trip in Italy. This guy, man, why the fuck are you going on a small vacation while all your teammates are still going to training and everything? The season isn't over. In fact, the title race technically isn't over. And you got El Clasico next week. Most fans were pissed when they found out about this, and understandably so. On some of Real Madrid's most recent posts, this graphic that says Mbappe out in English is being spammed all over the replies. There's also currently a petition with over 17 million signatures demanding Mbappe leave the club. That is 6 million more people than Belgium's entire population. Now, when Arbeloa was asked about this incident, he quickly removed himself from the situation, saying, quote, "In their free time, each player does what they see fit, and I don't get involved in that." Which makes me...
Hey, Arbeloa gang, you need to yell at these niggas. Like, oh my gosh, they need a Nick Saban, nigga. Mbappe, you're offside. Do it again. You got a link play. Darnell, I said cut. Do it again. Y'all needed like a Nick Saban coaching. Like Jose Mourinho, you need to get there fast and hurry.
Well, yes, what Mbappe did was very inconsiderate to both his teammates and also just the fans of this club. And yes, he's very much a drama queen, and now we do very much know what was wrong with PSG before they won the Champions League. The club here is just as much at fault as he is. Because here's the thing, right? You are still above everyone else in this hierarchy. Why the hell are you allowing one of your players to go on a vacation, a small tiny little vacation, in the middle of the season? It's not like they're in a hospital bed or in rehab or whatever. They're just chilling. Like, look at this picture. He's making out with his girlfriend. But this really sums up why things have gotten so toxic as of late. This club has no idea how to manage egos at all. In fact, they just enable this type of shit. And you know which manager they're currently rumored to have next season? Jose Mourinho. If Jose Mourinho becomes manager of Real Madrid next season, I can promise you that every single week is gonna feel like a reality show. One that's probably even better than the NBA. Do you know how impressive that would be? Every single passing day, Xabi Alonso must be watching from afar, feeling so vindicated right now. Whether he left on his own terms or was sacked by the club, he dodged a massive bullet here. According to Fabrizio Romano, by the way, within the next 24 hours, there's supposed to be even more that's gonna come out. If that's the case, I guess I'll make another video, but I'm pretty sure this is just gonna be the stuff because he just reports on stuff that's already been out there. But either way, did I ever mention to you guys that El Clasico is this weekend? But what do you guys think about this situation? Is it gonna get any better for Real Madrid, or is it just going to constantly get worse, and so much worse? Let me know down below. Of course, a massive shout out to all our members, including Janos Balas and my before Janos Balas, German Sayu 7,
Oh my god. This should a reality TV show. Make sure like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out. Deuces.